Welcome back, focused learners. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for another explainer today because we are looking at something truly fascinating. We're stepping right into this incredible intersection of holistic health and highly strategic real estate. We are going to explore the progress of building the villa at the Bahia Reboot Health Retreat. And you know, what's just so incredible here is how the founder, João Bosco Coelho, has taken this profound, much-needed wellness philosophy and literally engineered it into a lucrative, highly accessible, fractional real estate investment down in Brazil. So let's just dive right in and see how Bahia Reboot transforms from a vision of healing into tangible, real-world value. Okay, let's quickly check out our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the Bahia Reboot philosophy, Phase 1 immediate revenue, flexible fractional ownership, financial returns and equity, and finally, wellness and future venues.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the Bahia Reboot philosophy. It's absolutely vital to understand this philosophy first, right? Because this whole project anchors its tremendous financial value in solving a very real, growing modern problem, which is total systemic burnout. João Bosco Coelho states in his book, Total Reboot, you cannot heal in the same environment that made you tired. I mean, that really hits the nail on the head. This core truth drives the entire retreat. The source material highlights how modern life, the stress, the toxins in our environment, even the things contributing to the chronic baby bust we keep seeing in the news, they are actively working against our bodies. Bahia Reboot isn't just a vacation spot. It's explicitly designed as an escape from that toxic environment. It establishes the absolute psychological and emotional necessity for this sanctuary to even exist. So the Bahia Reboot ecosystem is basically built on 4 transformational elements. You've got food from the land, nature as a healing partner, community and connection, and structure without rigidity. It's like a giant puzzle, and the design actively lowers modern noise. It's really all about providing fresh food, clean water, sunlight, and pure silence so the human system can finally remember who it is. And that deep, transformational experience, well, that is exactly what creates such crazy high demand for a destination like this.
Moving right along to Section 2, Phase 1 revenue.
Okay, let's pivot sharply from that beautiful emotional vision to the logical business solution. Because look, an incredible philosophy is great, but as investors, we need to know how the project is structured to actually generate revenue from day one. And Phase 1 isn't just some construction site waiting for a grand opening. No, it is immediately functional. The journey opens with 6 glamping tent bases generating immediate yield, while they are simultaneously building the ultimate luxury of the 2 to 4 initial chalets. It's this intimate, immersive experience that starts creating a living community and cash flow right out of the gate. So the absolute crucial point here is this number, 16%. That is the highly attractive base return on investment specifically from that Phase 1 glamping yield alone. And you know what makes that metric even more impressive? It's calculated at just a 55% occupancy rate. That's a super conservative occupancy estimate, yielding a very aggressive, strong return, which totally proves the site's immediate economic viability. All right, Section 3, flexible fractional ownership. So we've seen the demand, we've seen the immediate revenue, but how do the mechanics of this investment actually work? Well, the accessibility here is fantastic. The total value of one luxury chalet is $60,000, but through their fractional model, you can enter at an early bird share price of just $12,000 US dollars. Now, I do want to highlight that this promotional price is a limited time opportunity specifically for founding investors. Once that early bird window closes, the price increases to $15,000 per share. So there's built-in equity growth right from the very start for early adopters. Now, I need to forcefully and clearly correct a massive misconception I see floating around regarding fractional models. Investors are absolutely not capped at a minority share. You can choose to buy anywhere from 1 to 5 shares. And if you purchase all 5 shares, you secure 100% sole ownership of the chalet. I really want to repeat that so it's crystal clear. Buying 5 shares amounts to 100% sole ownership. It is entirely flexible to your specific investment goals. And what's really interesting here is how they completely remove the traditional friction of foreign real estate investment. Usually, if you want to own property in Brazil, you have to fly all the way down there and jump through hoops to get a Brazilian tax ID called a CPF, but not here. With the villa at Bahia Reboot, absolutely no CPF is required. You just purchase your deeded sectional title through an entity that manages the property right there on the Brazilian land. It really makes global, cross-border investment incredibly easy and, more importantly, secure. Which brings us to Section 4, financial returns and equity. Okay, we know how to buy in, but what does it actually pay out? Let's translate that flexible ownership into cold, hard passive income.
The fractional model confers real equity and quarterly passive income. And just notice how the tiers work here. As the investor group per chalet shrinks, say from 5 investors down to 3, your personal benefits go up. Fewer investors mean you hold a larger equity stake. You receive a greater share of the annual net income, and get this, your personal usage weeks to actually stay at the sanctuary increase dramatically, going from 10 weeks up to 17 weeks annually. It's a structure that heavily rewards those who take a larger leadership stake. Let's just look at the baseline returns for a single early bird share. Based on a target 10.7% return for the chalet at a 65% occupancy rate, a 1/5 share aims to generate an estimated $6,400 annual net return. When you break that down, that equates to roughly $530 of passive monthly income, and yes, that is after operating expenses. And remember, that revenue is distributed quarterly with fully transparent accounting. Pretty amazing, right? And finally, Section 5, Wellness and Future Venues. Because what you are buying into for $12,000 today is really just the seed of a much larger, long-term regenerative vision. And this is exactly what will drive your property appreciation in the years to come. These initial chalets are just the beginning. The ultimate master plan for Bahia Reboot actually expands to 18 to 20 luxury chalets. We're talking community gardens for true farm-to-table culinary experiences, a holistic spa and yoga deck completely immersed in nature, and crucially, a gorgeous boutique convention center right at the creek. This infrastructure totally transforms the property from just a quiet getaway into a premier, highly sought-after venue for gatherings, retreats, and events, which significantly multiplies the value of your initial equity. Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Will you just visit a sanctuary or will you co-create one? Because Bahia Reboot is offering so much more than a vacation. It's a real invitation to secure an early bird stake in a regenerative community that literally pays you back in both financial dividends and personal well-being. It's just a rare chance to be a founding investor in a living ecosystem. So I want you to really think about that as we wrap up today's explainer. Thank you so much for joining me, Focused Learners, and I will catch you in the next one.